No worries. No worries. So indeed we do have Magnum going to be spawning here as the orange Protoss in the bottom left hand position, whilst we do have Johlar spawning as the purple Terran in the top right position. And I love this matchup oh so much. I'm really interested to see what Magnum's going to do. 1.1k Masters player here. I would love to see a 1-gate expand. I am a personal fan of the 1-gate expand, as it leaves you in such a good economical position, and unless the Terran actually does go for some ridiculous amount of barracks play early on in order to be able to deny it, they can also be in a very bad spot as well. So Johlar just going to be scouting the bottom of his base, quite content to... Actually, that's a very interesting placement for a supply depot. Obviously very scared of as to whether anything's going to be coming from this direction anytime soon, and Magnum at the same time is going to be placing his pylon next to his Nexus. Always a good choice against Terran. Really no need to place it anywhere else, as you can just kind of keep yourself kind of nicely confined in. You don't want anything to be able to shoot it from the low ground, etc. So nice placement there by Magnum. Same time though, Magnum is going to be able to come up here, do a little bit of scouting, does see that first barracks going down, as well as SCV production continuing, and at the same time, it looks like Johlar is going to go and have a look around himself. Magnum looking to just do a little bit of harass here with his probe. Very nice. You may as well, as the shields do recharge very nicely, and we'll be interested to see what does happen. So now Magnum just scooting around here, and as you can see, in the same time, Johlar is going to be able to scout the very standard buildings for Magnum at this point. Nothing out of the ordinary going on right now, and I'm really interested to see what both players do go for. We do have that refinery down right now, so that sort of indicates to me there's a lot of guys on there, I'm pretty sure. No, actually taking some off. It sort of indicates to me some kind of maybe factory play, tech lab barracks, etc. But we'll have to see what does occur. Now throwing down that cybernetics core. Johlar getting a lot of intel in here, skipping that first cellar just for probably the Stalker, which will come out after the cybernetics core is finished. I do like that player, as it does protect you from Reapers, etc. But as I say that, a zealot does begin, so maybe I just wasn't keeping an eye on the mineral count. Sorry about that. And Johlar at the same time just going to be playing pretty standard in the back, going to be getting a tech lab, so I don't mind this play too much. Does he have the Marine out already? He does indeed have the Marine out. A Marauder coming out with concussive shell, so maybe he's looking to do a little bit of a concussive pressure push initially just before Warp Gate's finished, as when Warp Gates does finish, it gets shut down very easily, so we'll have to see. And I've got to say, with the kind of increase in warp time for the Warp Gate technology, etc., this push becomes a little bit more viable, because you can do that extra little bit of pressure, and Marauders are so good against those initial gateway units, so I'm really interested to see how Magnum does react to that if he does go for it. Second assimilator now going down, second gateway on the way as well, and another Stalker on the way as well, so this will be interesting. Actually, this will be able to hold this off pretty easily. Really needs a few more Marauders to be able to rendezvous with this force in order to be able to actually put on the pressure, and you know, he actually isn't chrono boosting out the Cybernetics core, the Warp Gate research, so he can actually get up here in time in order to be able to do this little push. SCV going to be probably leading the charge. I would like to see it wait for the second Marauder to actually get here, as the second Stalker does pop just now, and this could spell a bit of a bad news for Johlar in this push. Again, I would have liked to see the second Marauder be waited for, and he is going to be shooting a little bit here, although I really don't like that play. Not the best of control here from Johlar, and I think that came down to the fact that he didn't wait for that second Marauder. So now Magnum very wisely behind this, going to be expanding. He realizes that he shut that down so ridiculously effectively, and going for a robo facility as well. So Magnum is in such a good position right now. Really nice play from Magnum, really nice control, and ultimately a little bit of a misstep from Johlar, not waiting for that second Marauder, in my opinion. So Johlar now going to be throwing down his command center, going for a factory as well. Normally when you see a command center go down, oh, that's after one barracks normally though, you will normally see two more barracks actually go down after that, but Magnum actually going to be pushing up here. Interesting decision. There are way too many units for him to engage. He realizes this, going to be running back as quickly as possible. The Stalker actually gets out alive. Oh my god, I did not expect that. that is a bit of a blunder on the part of Johlar. In fact, no, I'm unconvinced it was a blunder, but indeed does get away, and an observer now on the way. So Magnum still in a really great position, but Johlar seeming to keep up here. He does have the command center on the way, as I said before, and he's going to be, you know, in a good position to actually keep up, especially with mules. We like mules. So, a few more stalkers out here, transferring some of the probes over to this base. Very nice there. Going to be able to hit how well saturated, nicely saturated in his main. The observer does come out, and now another gateway going down for Magnum, and a scan, nice scan dropping there in order to be able to see this. He knows the robotics bay is on the way. He'll really want to get that starport up as quickly as possible. Viking production will need to begin very soon. Although that being said, he really needs to do a big balancing act between the he really needs to do a big balancing act between the medevacs and the Vikings, maybe even going for a second starport eventually, in order to be able to kind of mess around with that balancing act, as it can be very, very strong indeed. And he really needs to increase the longevity of his bioforce with those medevacs. So he'll need to make an odd option here, considering that he already knows that Robo Bay is out without the medevacs. It does go for the 2 medevacs initially, which is a nice choice, as the Colossus count won't get up and running anytime, well, soon in retrospect. And now Magnum realizes that this base is up and running, but not as well up and running as his natural. So a little bit of a supply increase for Magnum, a supply deficit for Magnum even. And as you can see by the income tab as well, both players relatively even, and that is mainly thanks to the mules, since this base has been up for a little bit longer. So now just getting that first Colossus out. Would like to see that range upgrade start anytime soon now for Magnum. Do have a bit of a drop going on over here. Maybe we could do some damage here, but oh dear me, this has been scouted potentially by that observer up to the north, and this could be very dangerous. Oh, and Johlar is going to lose everything in that medevac, and that is a great pick off there. But at the same time, a second drop going to be going down to the right. Will Magnum's game senses tingle? Will he realize that this is the potential? There is the potential of a second drop, but no, he hasn't moved any units up here just yet. And now we're actually dropping on this pylon. Probably going to be able to take out that pylon, but nice reaction time from Magnum at this point. Going to be moving up here, and at the same time, he knows everything that's going on in the front of the base of Johlar. So Johlar wisely actually picking up and retreating with that. And Magnum is going to be moving back to the front of his natural, but at the same time, Johlar, a very nice play here, going to be trying to drop in the in the minerals of Magnum. So he's playing a little tricky game right now. I wouldn't mind seeing a stim in order to take out as many of these probes as possible. Does indeed stim, going to be trying to take out as many as he can do, but at the same time will need to pick up very, very soon, and this is a bit of a precarious position for Johlar to actually get out of. I would like to see the stalkers move over in this direction in order to be able to intercept, and indeed they are. It's going to be, ooh, this could be very close. No, the medevac will end up getting away. So nice drops from Johlar there, not losing that second one. The first one sadly did get taken out, but ultimately Magnum is still in a good position, really not as much damage done as Johlar would have liked. And now, oh, +1 armor on the way, and that is so important against this mass marine medevac marauder force. Really need that +1 and then +2 maybe on the way in order to be able to negate as much of the damage as possible from that MMM force. So, oh my god, though, 3 Colossus already out on the field. So that is going to be very, very scary indeed for Magnum. Let's just go and see how many Vikings he has. He only has 4 Vikings to the scary, scary count of Colossus that Magnum does have. And now securing his own third as well, which is such a good move at this point, as he is in such a commanding position, in my opinion. So, just waiting. We do have more Vikings on the way now. And this is actually a bit of an odd situation for Johlar to be in. As I said before, we really would like to see a few more medevacs out for Johlar at this point, to, as I said before, increase the longevity of his marine force. But right now, he can't afford to make those medevacs because of the fact that he needs to commit so much to the Vikings. Because what do? You know, you make the medevacs and all your Bioforce gets roasted anyway, but you need those Vikings in order to be able to take out those Colossus. And the big thing is the positioning of a final engagement that will end up coming down. If they engage in the middle, you can always use this middle cavern in order to be able to place your Vikings there, shoot at the Colossus from a very, very advantageous position. And if it does come to that, I would love to see that occur, so we'll have to see. And Magnum's third is now going to be up and running very, very quickly. So he's expanding at pretty much the right time. 13-14 minute mark is when I like to see the next, the third go up. But oh my god, this is such a scary Colossus count. Very, very, very scary indeed. And now Johlar looking to maybe put on another drop, which could be very, very scary if he actually allows it to get through. But I feel that the map presence of Magnum could be the saving grace of him. He is putting a pylon in that third position in order to be able to see if any third does go down. Really, really nice. And Juice goes one up against Silly. Nice. So I've got a lot of kids making a lot of noise outside because I live in the worst place ever. And this drop, though, could do a significant amount of damage. Their units are out of position at this point as the forces of Magnum have moved over to the Naga watchtowers and now very wisely dropping on the high ground here. You're going to be able to pick off a few of those without much threat of anything actually happening. And Magnum actually going to be going for a fourth as well behind this, so he's going to be pushing so far ahead. And he doesn't actually have high ground vision until those Colossus do reach. The Colossus do get there, and Johlar wisely picking up there, going to be able to move away from that. But at the same time, Johlar looking to push out to this position as well. And I really like this position that Yolar's taking with his Marauder force. If he were to position the Vikings over the cavern, he would be in a good spot, but actually going to be moving back. Doesn't have that many medevacs in order to be able to support this force at the same time. And throwing down a second command center for an expansion over in this position here, and really does want to deny that pylon because that could be very, very annoying if he ends up trying to land. So now a bit of a drop going down in the vein of Magnum. He's going to be able to take out quite a few probes here and you know, be denied eventually by these Colossus. The Colossus do come along. Johlar not. Oh, feedback! Oh my god, when did he get a Templar Archives? That was ridiculous. I love feedback on medevacs, but indeed medevacs do get owned by that feedback. But now another drop going to be coming over here. Psystorm on the way. Magnum playing this so beautifully, actually. Really doing a good job of keeping on top of drops and just expanding everywhere else on the map. So now Stimming in, going to be able to take out quite a few probes here. Nice move from Johlar, and really wants to be able to connect with his third anytime soon. Needs to be able to get that up in order to be able to keep up with the production value of the Protoss. Picking up here once again, and really needs to get out of there. Where is the feedback? Is there any feedback at all? There is no Blink right now. Blink is being researched, and oh, this medevac could just get away. That is so close. But in fact does indeed get away. And now though, Magnum's fourth is going to be up and running pretty soon. His third is already nicely up and running, and looks like Johlar is trying to land here, but in fact there is that pylon in order to be able to deny it, and there's Lone Zealot as well. But at this point, Magnum's force is becoming very, very scary. We have Mobius Reactor and the Ghost Academy already down for Johlar, so he really needs to be able to land some good EMPs to be able to deny this force the absolute decimation that it can create even. And we do have infantry weapons level 2 as well as armor level 2 on the way for Johlar as well. So I mean, these High Templar with Storms are just going to be able to rip through this force eventually. And it looks like Johlar was able to take his third and looking to maybe secure a gold as well. And I'm actually quite surprised that Magnum hasn't gone for a gold anytime soon. It's always very nice to be able to take expansions on the route to your opponent in order to be able to, you know, make it easier to defend, etc. And we do have another expansion being created now for Johlar. Planetary Fortress actually morphing in here, and as we all know, Planetary Fortresses are technically invincible, so that expansion will be there for quite a while. As armor level 2 does go down now for Magnum. This is a very scary force indeed, and now the engagement does go down. Oh my god, that is a bit of a movement there from Magnum. He did move ever so slightly too far into that force before actually engaging in it, but the Colossus are doing a significant amount of damage, and oh my god, this is actually very, very bad for Magnum. I really feel as if that engagement went extremely bad for him in the start due to the fact that he moved just a little bit too far forwards and his units were just free cannon fodder for just a little bit of that engagement. So now Johlar in a very, very good position against Magnum, although that being said, Magnum still does have these 4 bases up and running. Not quite saturated over here, but elsewhere it's looking very good. And, loading up into these medevacs. What are you doing? You need to unload the medevacs! No! He unloads, but ultimately actually losing quite a bit there. And that was not a very good engagement. Does loot that Colossus though. Keeping the Colossus countdown is so crucial for the Terran at this point, and if he can do that throughout the entire game, he's going to be in a very good position. And now Magnum actually going for some Archons and Immortals. Very nice light transition, but at the same time a drop does occur here in the base for Johlar. Just keeping the Protoss on his toes. I really like this play from Johlar, and showing us a good game overall in general. So now he's going to be forced to actually retreat with that medevac. Did lose the rest of those, but look at this. He's securing his gold expansion. That could be very, very good indeed. And I really like this transfer to the Immortals and the Archons potentially as well, in order to be able to just kind of keep up with the Terran. Really doesn't want to go for too many Colossus now, as that Viking count is very, very high in comparison. And now, but at the same time, you know, Johlar really hasn't... Oh, he scouted the pylon down there, but doesn't know that the expansion is there. So that could be very, very interesting if he actually keeps that going. And now a DT Shrine on the way, +3 armor on the way for these ground units as well. Johlar trying to mule up his main and just come to the income tab right now. Both players relatively even, but those mules just allow someone to rocket ahead when they are on these gold patches. Johlar now going to be able to maybe take this game. I feel he's pretty far ahead, but I mean... Both players, you know, very even on economy, very even on army supplies, and you know, I sort of thought Magnum was going to be able to take this very convincingly in the starting the get-go, but he waited very, very long with that Colossus count in order to be able to put on any pressure, and ultimately, once he did decide to apply pressure, there was too many Stalkers out, and actually nice pick here by these Zealots, going to be able to deny that expansion from going down. Very nice play by Magnum there. Always very good to keep your map awareness as high as possible. 3-3 now on the way for these ground units. And I can't help but feel that is going to be absolutely decimating against this force, despite the Immortal count actually rising now. You know, the Immortals are not going to be able to do too much, and, you know, money, cost for cost, Marauders actually do a significant amount of damage to those Immortals. So now DT is going to be moving across the map. Does he actually see that? He sees the blur, but does he see that they are moving out across the map? These DTs could be what Magnum needs to be able to pull himself ever so slightly further ahead in this game. Johlar going to be dropping over here on the 4th base of Magnum, and actually nice blink there, going to be focusing down that medevac. He really needs to do that in order to be able to deny some retreat, but at the same time scanning, but there's nothing actually here really to deny them, and taking out so many SCVs. All of these Dark Templars between them have about 7 kills each, which is so big, but at the same time a huge engagement does go down. Huge storms land, and oh my god, massive EMPs as well, and this is such a close battle, but at the same time the Vikings are going to be landing. He realizes there's no Colossus here, and wow, Johlar just doing so much damage here, taking out so much of this, and really, really nice play by Johlar. At the same time, though, we do have the DTs working their way through the main of Johlar, doing significant amounts of damage. I have a lone Archon here, standing alone against this army, really not going to be able to do much whatsoever. 3-3 is almost done now for this ground force. We do have +3 armor on the way for actually finishing up now for Magnum. He does have 2 Colossus on the way, but this expansion will be denied. At the same time, though, a nice scan does drop in the main of Johlar, going to be able to deny those DTs from doing any more damage right now. And it looks like Magnum's gearing up to maybe do a little counter push at some point. Just nicely bringing down these probes here in order to be able to keep them safe. But wow, Johlar just really doing a good job here. I'm actually surprised he's in Diamond, I must admit. I think he's a bit better than Diamond, but there you go. And yeah, Magnum here just kind of running low on minerals, I must say. In his main, he's mined out. He's mined out almost in his natural, and in his third, he's getting mined out pretty much as well. He's not really got much going on here at all. And you know, Johlar in such a commanding position, really wouldn't mind seeing. He's got so many barracks out here. Lovely composition of units. So many ghosts in here for those storms. EMPs even. Such nice abilities with those EMPs, and they really made the difference in in that battle just before, absolutely blanketing them with EMPs. A lone DT out here. Will he drop the scan? I don't know. A little bit of a stim going up here in order to try and deny anything that does go down there. Scan does go down in order to be able to deny that DT any damage, but oh, that is a lot of High Templar, and they have a lot of storms, and now Johlar looking to do what could be a killing blow. Going to be pushing down into this last mining base of Magnum, as Magnum just moves up around trying to take out as much as possible. Maybe he'll actually catch these units in what seems like a potential sandwich. Actually does take down that Nexus, which is huge at this point. Going to be stimming up, oh, one-shotting that Colossus. That was ridiculous. And now just going to push around, taking out the majority. Actually, no, going to flee as he realizes he's in such a good position. Such nice decision making, but actually going to be engaging here and taking out a lot of these zealots. But at the same time, you know, the +3 is doing so well, and huge storms go down off on all those marauders. And now, though, these bio units are whittled down so much. These Colossus do a lot of damage. Nice storms actually going down. Not as great as we would like to see, but those storms were the money storms, taking out a lot of this bio force. And this is such a close match, ladies and gentlemen. Johlar and Magnum really going at it. These Templar really proving their weight in gold, and now Magnum is forced to kind of re-expand to his third, etc. As, you know, Johlar has such nice defensive positions set up here. 2 planetary fortresses, and as we've already said before in this cast, ladies and gents, planetary fortresses are invincible, so there's no way he can actually engage. No, I'm joking. He can take them out with some nice storms on the SCVs if he gets the chance. And now actually moving around here, big storms going off, and they're actually stimming up and running into the storms. Not the best of decisions, but now Johlar going to be absolutely, I don't know about this, ladies and gents, it's against the wire. Whilst looking at the income tab, Johlar has a nice economy in comparison to Magnum's, but I can't help but feel that Magnum's force is just really, really strong right now. He doesn't have as many units, as many gateway units even, as I would like to see, but with those storms he can do so much damage to this force, so it'll be really a case of whether or not he can actually land the perfect storms in order to be able to deal with this. So Johlar now just going to be scouting down here to see if there is any expansion, but there is not. Good map awareness, trying to keep on top of seeing if the opponent is actually re-expanding elsewhere. But again, this base is so dry, it's going to be drying out very, very soon. We have a lone High Templar here who did throw a storm down there, a DT in the natural of Johlar, just kind of targeting down all these tech labs. Really good option to be able to take those out, as they can prevent the mass marauder style being created. And oh, an EMP there, to be taking that out very nicely. And now it's just a case of waiting as to whether or not we see Magnum push out on, oh my god, actually cleaning up a very nicely cleaned up drop there, completely cleaning that up. And, you know, both players, coming back to the income tab again, Magnum's sort of pulling himself back into it. He's getting his gold up, and if he can get that gold up, he's going to be in a very nice spot. I wouldn't mind seeing Johlar actually expand to this position here in order to be able to keep himself in it once again. He really doesn't have that great a supply when it comes to army, but it's a very, very scary force. 3-3 bio, going up against actually quite a scary force of Protoss as well. So much energy on these High Templars for Storm. So both players just content to kind of sit quietly and sit back and relax. Oh, my throat is going. I need a bit of a drink. 1 second. If only I had some honey. Honey would be nice. Honey. So, it looks like Magnum is going to try and secure these watchtowers. Good use of this watchtower in order to be able to just check out what is going on. And he can actually see the small kind of... He can see the army entirely, so he can survey exactly what he needs to do against this. And what he really needs to do is land the money storms. But at the same time, the Terran really needs to land those money EMPs. Going to be moving forwards. I'm surprised he doesn't have Cloak here, actually. A nice feedback going off on one of those ghosts. And now, will the EMPs land? A big EMP does land on those forces, but not too bad a storm, actually. Not very good storm. Does land on these forces. And oh, those are the money storms. There we go. The Colossus is able to rip apart a lot of this force, but now actually stimming forwards. These units are so low, but all the Colossus are going to get taken out. The Marauders do so much damage to them so fast. And now, oh my god, this is so close. I really can't call this, guys. Johlar is doing such a good job here, but at the same time, Magnum is doing a great job of trying to prevent these from going down. And oh, taking out that Nexus is huge at this point. Just going to the income tab now. Both players very, very even, but if that Nexus had been allowed to live, then Magnum could have pulled very, very far ahead. And now a lot of Marines on the way, as well as Marauders coming out for Johlar. And now Magnum just kind of playing very, very passively. Not much harass going on aside from the High Templar up here, which has 16 kills. I keep missing the Storms there. It's very hard to come back to him and see Storms one at a time, so sorry about that. But ultimately, you know, Johlar is mined out at his gold and getting pretty... He's not very well saturated here either. So where are all the SCVs, actually? That is a very big question. Let's go to the units tab. We only have 12 SCVs and 2 mules out now for Johlar, whereas 50 probes out for our Protoss player. So, I mean, that is a big disparity. There really is. I mean, Johlar really needs to do something. Like, he needs to either finish the game now, or I don't know what he's going to be able to do. I mean, he's trying to expand down here, but with 12 SCVs, I don't really see the point. He needs to create more SCVs, really not producing them anymore. We do have Magnum here trying to secure his gold once again. Long distance mining on this base is very, very clever indeed, as if your base is already saturated, long distance mining is always an option. Of course, you may end up getting picked off a few things. Nice feedback there on that ghost. That is the only ghost in that force, yes indeed, and now no EMPs for Johlar, so he's going to have to pull back. At the same time though, Johlar is trying to land here, but he sees the long distance mining that is occurring, and also trying to expand over here as well. Did bring the command centers from his natural and his main in order to try and secure those, and now Magnum is just going to kind of move around ever so slightly. I really would like to see kind of finishing blow, but the big problem for Protoss right now is where does he engage? He can't engage this position, although there really isn't much point to engage this position because there is no minerals here, and you know, he really needs to find a good spot to engage, without a planetary fortress especially. So now Johlar looks to be moving out here, did take out a unit over there, and this is actually a bit of a scary bioforce, going to be intercepting a lot of these probes here, pushing back, and the Zealots were in hot pursuit, but these medevacs have plenty of energy to be able to heal up these forces, and I don't know, Johlar is just kind of playing this very passively, and so is Magnum at this point. And this High Templar up here continues to storm. We do have energy for a storm. Come on, storm, Magnum. Oh, he's selecting it. There we go. There's the storm. And takes out a few more SCVs once again. And, you know, this can't keep continuing. Johlar really needs to send just 1 or 2 units up there to be able to deny that. But at the same time, a big engagement does go down. A huge storm hits all those Marines. And now Magnum looks like he's going to be able to roll through this, as the Colossus is just going to be able to tear apart these guys. And the Zealots are just soaking up so much damage at this point. Not too bad from this ghost at the same time. And Johlar, GG's. And that is going to be it for Game 1, ladies and gentlemen, of this best of 3.